first and second quarter fiscal year 2022 Instructors of the Quarter Award Ceremony. Before we present the awards, we would like to thank the family members and the special guests of the awardees for their support and for sharing in this honored occasion. Joining us today from the USAACE Command Team is Brigadier General Pedritis. Participating in today's ceremony are Sam Baker, Vice President of Membership for the Aviation Center Chapter of the Army Aviation Association of America, Mr. Doug Wynn, President of the Fort Rucker Wiregrass Chapter of the Association of the United States Army, and Miss Jessie Lynch, Store Manager of the Fort Rucker Post Exchange. The guest speaker for today's event is Colonel Richard P. Tucker, Commander, 1st Aviation Brigade. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest speaker, Commander, 1st Aviation Brigade, Colonel Richard P. Tucker.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our esteemed instructors, friends of USAACE, good morning and thank you for being here. On behalf of Major General David J. Francis, Commanding General of the U.S. Army Aviation Center of Excellence in Fort Rucker, let me once again offer my sincere congratulations. For a few very brief minutes, I would like to offer my perspective on this recognition we've gathered here today to be a part of and what you do. Every aviator and aviation soldier passes through these gates of Fort Rucker, Fort Huachuca, and Fort Eustis. They are taught, trained, and qualified by instructors just like you. They learn the most basic of tasks to accomplish their jobs and often return to learn more complex material, maneuvers, tactics, and techniques that will enable them to lead others. The material you use, the lesson plans, the equipment, the sequence and timing does not simply appear by magic. This team researches, refines, and develops it through a continuous process of improvement. But those are also not the only ingredients for delivering world-class instruction. It's the human element that makes the true difference. Soldiers, NCOs, leaders, civilians like you deliver that instruction, impart your knowledge, and train our soldiers. You hold yourselves to a higher standard and work tirelessly to bring your students up to that level of tactical and technical expertise with a method of professionalism that no other Army in the world can match. All of us here today were once trained by an instructor who wouldn't accept anything less than excellence from us, and all of you rose to that challenge. In the same way, I challenge you to continue this daily effort with the same patience and motivation that led you to these chairs up front. As we sit here today surrounded by equipment and honors to the heroes that went before us, there are conflicts and wars raging outside these walls. Our Army is in the midst of fundamental change, and Aviation Branch is at the forefront of these efforts. Your actions, your delivery of world-class training, your resolution to never quit will propel Army aviation into the next generation. No other Army can fly, fix, navigate, and destroy an enemy at night under fire like U.S. Army Aviation. So I want to remind you that you do make a difference. You are special, and we do appreciate you. Congratulations to each of you, and thank you for your excellence, your dedication, your commitment to our soldiers and to the future of our branch and our Army. Above the best.
Each quarter, academic instructors, instructor pilots, and non-commissioned officer flight instructors from USAACE and Fort Rucker, to include the 1st Aviation Brigade, 110th Aviation Brigade, 128th Aviation Brigade, Warrant Officer Career College, School of Army Aviation Medicine, Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Fort Rucker, Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Fort Eustis, and Combat Readiness Safety Center are nominated by their supervisors for the honor of competing for Instructor of the Quarter. They are evaluated on quality of instruction, quality of materials developed and used, and quality of their presentation. After all evaluations are completed, scores are compiled, and winners of the quarterly competition are selected. The instructors of the quarter are above the best. In recognition for being selected as the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence Instructor of the Quarter for the first and second quarters, fiscal year 2022, each winner will be awarded a certificate of achievement. The citation reads, "For excellence in training while serving as an instructor at the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence, your professionalism, dedication to duty, and technical expertise contributed to the success of your unit and the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence. Your actions reflect great credit upon you, this command, and the United States Army." Signed, David J. Francis, Major General, United States Army, commanding. Michael L. Lewis, Jr., Chief Warrant Officer 5, United States Army, Chief Warrant Officer of the branch, and James D. Wilson, Command Sergeant Major, United States Army, Branch Sergeant Major. The instructor of the quarter winners will also receive the following awards and gifts. Each winner will receive a certificate of appreciation and a one-year membership from the Aviation Center chapter of the Army Aviation Association of America, an engraved mug from the Fort Rucker Wiregrass chapter of the Association of the United States Army, and a $50 gift card from the Fort Rucker Army and Air Force Exchange Service. Each instructor of the quarter winner was asked to provide their response to the following interview question. What do you think is the most significant role of an instructor and why? When each instructor is introduced, their response will be played on the monitors above the stage, after which we ask each winner to please enter the stage as their personal narrative is read. The officer academic instructor of the quarter, Captain Daniel J. Kottkamp, Delta Company, 1st Battalion, 1st of the 145th Aviation Regiment, 1st Aviation Brigade.
I believe the most significant role of an instructor is mentorship. As instructors, we have the amazing opportunity, as well as the responsibility, to make an impact on the soldiers, to shape and mold them. And if we do it right, we can create a positive influence, not only for their Army careers, but also in their personal lives. We are an extremely rare opportunity to make a difference in the Army and guide these students to be the best themselves. And I think that's what being an instructor is all about.
Captain Kottkamp is an academic instructor teaching the Army Aviation Basic Officers Leader Course, BOLIC. Captain Kottkamp enjoys teaching because he believes it allows him to give back and share his unique experience and knowledge with future upcoming aviation officers. He still vividly recalls his days as a student in the Basic Officers Leader Course and how his instructors were instrumental in preparing him for his future roles. He strives to emulate them and provide not only a great instruction, but also mentorship to those he instructs. Captain Kottkamp believes this is an important way to be a positive influence on those junior officers while providing a valued contribution to the Army Aviation Warfighting mission. Ladies and gentlemen, the USAACE Officer Academic Instructor of the Quarter, Captain Daniel J. Kottkamp. The Officer Flight Instructor of the Quarter, Chief Warrant Officer 4, Jason F. Skelton, Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 223rd Aviation Regiment, 110th Aviation Brigade.
our focus and our driving force to ensure students have a good backstop. The firmer the core a student has, the potential for them to build increases. This is also something they can fall back on even subconsciously. Army Aviation, we prepare for the day everything goes bad. When that happens, we rely on the primacy to take us back to the basics we learned. This would be the foundation that our instructors helped us with. Everything we do in the aircraft starts with the basics our instructors helped us with. We also pass on the core principles we learn from our instructors to our students, thus keeping the knowledge of years past going. This gives us the ability to make the next generation better than we were. One simply can't build on a core foundation, so we have to give them a good start so they can one day replace us and keep Army Aviation moving forward into the future.
Chief Warrant Officer 4 Skelton is a flight instructor teaching the CH-47 Foxtrot Maintenance Test Pilot course. As an instructor pilot and maintenance evaluator, Chief Warrant Officer 4 Skelton's goal is to take a pilot and teach them how to be a maintenance test pilot. This often involves helping them understand systems, being able to troubleshoot, as well as fly, talk, and access the aircraft at the same time. His goal is to instruct his students and share the knowledge and experience he has accrued throughout his aviation career to help his students also experience the reward of repairing the aircraft and helping to keep the Chinook community flying. Chief Warrant Officer 4 Skelton believes there is no greater reward the Army can give him than to provide him the opportunity to pass those valuable skills that he has learned onto his students, knowing that those skills will continue to be used in support of the Army Aviation warfighting mission well after he is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, the USAACE Officer Flight Instructor of the Quarter, Chief Warrant Officer 4, Jason F. Skelton. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the monitors above the stage. Attending virtually from Fort Huachuca, Arizona, the non-commissioned officer, academic instructor of the first quarter, Sergeant First Class Joshua E. Teckenbrock, Alpha Company 2nd Battalion, 13th Aviation Regiment, 1st Aviation Brigade. Sergeant First Class Teckenbrock is an academic instructor teaching the RQ-7 Bravo Shadow Operator, method of instruction, and instructor operator for the courses. Sergeant First Class Teckenbrock believes his time training, coaching, and mentoring young soldiers into qualified unmanned aerial systems operators is rivaled only by his time training junior NCOs to become instructor operators. He considers it an honor to be able to interact daily with the next generation of unmanned aerial systems operators and instructors. As an instructor in the United States Army, Sergeant First Class Teckenbrock understands the challenge of adapting to each individual soldier's learning process and strives to become a positive influence to help them grow beyond their perceived limits, both individually and professionally. Ladies and gentlemen, the USAACE Non-Commissioned Officer Academy Instructor of the first quarter, Sergeant First Class Joshua E. Teckenbrock. The Non-Commissioned Officer Academic Instructor of the second quarter, Staff Sergeant Christopher N. Hobbs, Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Fort Eustis, Virginia.
The most important role of an instructor is that of the student. We've been given the responsibility of fostering the most important asset that Army Aviation has, its future leaders. In order to do that, we have to make sure that we're current on the information that we're trying to teach. That's why I believe that that makes the student the most important role that you can have.
Staff Sergeant Hobbs is an academic instructor teaching the Advanced Leader course for 15 Delta. As an instructor for the Advanced Leader course, Staff Sergeant Hobbs finds his satisfaction and purpose in serving as a vanguard and steward within the Army aviation profession. He takes pride in knowing that the knowledge and experience he has imparted to his students has had a positive effect on them, and he understands that it will also directly affect the soldiers that they will lead when they return to their units. Staff Sergeant Hobbs' philosophy as an Army professional instructor is simple: create a learning environment that fosters a climate that is engaging and productive for his students, and one in which he, his organization, and the Army aviation community can be proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, the USAACE Non-Commissioned Officer Academy Academic Instructor of the Second Quarter, Staff Sergeant Christopher N. Hobbs. The Non-Commissioned Officer Flight Instructor of the Quarter, Staff Sergeant Adam J. Escott, Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 223rd Aviation Regiment, 110th Aviation Brigade.
I feel the most important role an instructor can fill is rather self-explanatory: to instruct in order to transfer knowledge and concepts to students. The reason why an instructor is so important is more complex. On the face of it, a student should be able to read a book or a lesson plan the same way an instructor would and gain all of the knowledge they need. In practice, though, the instructor makes effective learning and comprehension possible by utilizing techniques such as facilitating discussion, providing relevant examples, or even sharing life experiences. Instructors can also inspire students to achieve their full potential, or serve as support structure students would not have otherwise. These are things that a book or a lesson plan can't provide that only an instructor can. This is why an instructor is so critical to the education process and cannot be replaced by a book or a computer program.
Staff Sergeant Escott is a flight instructor teaching the CH-47 Foxtrot Maintenance Test Pilot course. As a former tanker, both in garrison and during deployment, Staff Sergeant Escott learned the importance of understanding all of the systems that he worked with. Now, as a CH-47 Foxtrot flight instructor, he knows that it is not only critical to understand the systems, but also the standards of how to operate the equipment as well as crew coordination. As an instructor, Staff Sergeant Escott gets to share and teach the importance of that criticality to his students. He seeks to use his Army knowledge and experiences to provide instruction that can connect with every student and help them gain a clear and complete understanding of all subject matter. Ladies and gentlemen, the USAACE Non-Commissioned Officer Flight Instructor of the Quarter, Staff Sergeant Adam J. Escott. The Civilian Instructor Pilot of the Quarter, Mr. David R. McNeish, Jr., Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 14th Aviation Regiment, 110th Aviation Brigade. Mr. McNeish is unable to attend today's ceremony. Mr. McNeish, Jr. is a flight instructor teaching the Flight School 21. Mr. McNeish enjoys the challenge of instructing future aviators and playing a pivotal role in their learning experience. He also enjoys seeing his students begin to correlate the material they have learned academically with its real-world application, and how all of the different aspects of execution on any task is enhanced when they come to understand the material. Ladies and gentlemen, the USAACE Civilian Instructor Pilot of the Quarter, Mr. David R. McNeish. Mr. Baker will now take his opportunity to provide remarks. Mr. Nguyen will now provide remarks.
On behalf of the Association of the United States Army, Fort Rucker, Watergrass Chapter, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. It is so important that we train our soldiers so well, as we can see in the current events of today around the world. The people who don't do it, it shows. And I am very, very, very proud as an individual and as a member of AUSA that we have such good professional instructors to teach the people in the United States Army how to do their jobs. I can't say or express how important it is. I think everyone in this room sees it, feels it, and it makes me so very proud, so very, very proud as a citizen of the United States. Thank you all so very, very much.
Ms. Lynch will now provide remarks.
Good morning, everybody. I just would like to say thank you so much for allowing me as a member of the exchange and the civilian community here at Fort Rucker to participate in this event. I think we often take for granted the importance of recognition to our individuals, our soldiers, to our instructors, and the fact that we take a few minutes out of every quarter to honor our prestigious awardees here for the dedication that they provide and instrumental instruction to their students is, well, it's remarkable. It's remarkable that as a unit, as a USAACE and as the Fort Rucker community, we get together and do this once a quarter and yearly for those who've obviously achieved the honor today. So thank you so much on behalf of the AFIs here at Fort Rucker, and thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a final round of applause for the first and second quarter fiscal year 2022 United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence in Fort Rucker instructors of the quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony, and thank you for your support, and have a wonderful day. Above the best.
Shake your hands, get it fixed, folks.